Hey, welcome World Entertainment, and it is El Scorchio over here. Because unlike you guys in the States and Canada, we don't have aircon, so we just have to suffer. Our air conditioning is open your window, dude. And it is open, trust me. I have a fan beside me, but I have to turn it off because I think this would pick it up. All that being said, you can see the headline. Paramount's David Ellison has already met with James Gunn on DC's future. One of the producers apparently has already come out and said, yeah, he's completely on board with us. We're safe. Are they? Doesn't seem exactly that way. But we're going to take a look at the article because, of course, they're going to come in and say, great work, we love what you're doing right now. But they're going to be sitting there looking and going, Superman underperformed. Supergirl may actually end up being the first ever superhero movie that can't even crack 200 million. It's actually looking realistic that that's a possibility. That's insane to say, but that is actually a possibility right now. The more they show and the more they talk about that movie, the less people have interest in it. It's weird. But if that underperforms and then Clayface is whatever Clayface does and stuff, and then of course Man of Tomorrow will be the next big one, the writing's on the wall that the future for James Gunn is not bright at all. Not to mention his contract actually is up next year. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. We're going to take a look at this. By the way, this might slightly be out of sync. Me talking on camera. I've noticed a couple of them. I've been trying to fix it. I don't know what is going on with it. So apologies if it is a little bit out of sync. I will continue to try and fix it. If I'm not recording and I check it, it's fine. Once I hit record, it still looks fine to me until you play the video back, and then it's buggered. I don't know what's going on, so I'll have a look at that. As I said, I'm still trying to get used to and figure out all of OBS and whatnot, but that's not important right now. This is Let's Take a Look, so let's dive in. Is there still hope for James Gunn and his DCU? The week of the Supergirl release, THR runs a story that Paramount Skydance CEO David Ellison has already met with DC Studios co-chiefs James Gunn and Peter Safran. We're tracking, well, no point reading that part, that's actually just talking about the articles and all their information. On the surface, the early signals sound positive for the current regime, but look closer, and the picture is more complicated than the headline quotes suggest. So, speaking to the Hollywood Reporter at the Brooklyn premiere of Supergirl, executive producer Lars P. Winter confirmed that Ellison has already travelled to Atlanta, where Man of Tomorrow is currently filming. So he said he came to Trillet, I think is how you pronounce it, the studios already. That's where we shoot all our movies that James directs, Winter said. He came to Atlanta, he showed him everything, and we're having discussions with him. According to Winter, Ellison is enthusiastic about the duo's work, where he said, he's pretty open to what we're doing. He's a big fan. He's been great with us. He's given us kind of what we want so far. Everything's good. That statement is not like he's enthusiastic. That's he's open to what we're doing, and he says he's a big fan. He's not going to walk in there. Let's just get realistic here. He's not going to walk in there and go, I fucking hate you people. I cannot wait to fire you. He's not going to do that. He's going to come in, he's going to blow smoke up their ass because they're currently filming crap. And he's going to come in and go, I hope everything goes well. I love what you're doing. This looks great, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to walk in while they're filming a new Superman movie and go, I hate you all. I can't wait to fire you. So that part's ridiculous. Of course he's going to blow smoke up their ass. So Winter added that the existing slate is rolling forward, where he said, we do have a slate and a lot of it. Obviously, Clayface is already coming out. We already have the Lanterns TV show. And those things, the trains left the station. So we're good. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. So here's the part worth paying attention to. Every single project Winter names as locked in, Clayface, the Lantern series, the Batman Part 2, Supergirl and Man of Tomorrow, was greenlit and put into motion under the previous Warner Brothers Discovery regime. These were part of the original DCU slate Gunn and Safran announced back in 2023, long before Paramount Skydance entered the picture, and we also know some of those projects aren't moving forward. Now, I think that part is a bit of a misquote. I think they're meant to say some of the projects aren't moving forward. Not those projects, because you've just named all the projects that are moving forward because they're already filming or filmed, so that's a bit strange. So when Ellison shows up and says to keep going, he isn't greenlighting a new vision. He's declining to cancel work that's already shooting, which is exactly what any new owner would do with projects that are mid-production and represent sunk costs. Torching films that are already in front of cameras would be a financial non-starter. Letting them finish is the obvious expected move. What's telling is that that isn't there, or what isn't there. Nothing new has been announced beyond Man of Tomorrow. Winter even hints at it himself, saying they already know what the next movie's going to be after that, but it remains unannounced. Every concrete project he can point to predates Paramount. The forward slate past 2027 is still a blank page. And that isn't because they are moving forward with this Jimmy Olsen and Gorilla Grodd series, which is fucking retarded. Why in God's name would you do that? So the empty post-Man of Tomorrow slate remains the real question. If the current DC regime were locked in for the long haul, you'd expect to see new tentpoles being announced and lined up. Instead, everything concrete on the board is inherited from the old guard. So it kind of just talks about other bullshit then a little bit here. But the question then is like, well, is James Gunn safe? Because you also notice that the guy went in and said, Ellison met with us and he loves everything we're doing and he says, keep going forward. Nothing in there about new contracts. Because again, Gunn's contract ends next year. I don't know when next year, but it's in 2027 that it runs out. I would assume after the release of Man of Tomorrow. So when did he sign the contract the first time? Was that like around August or something, or maybe September? So you would assume it would run out some stage there. But his contract is up. That's quite telling that it's not the case of he's gone in, met with them and said, we're kind of working on a new contract for you if you're interested and stuff like that. I think it's very much, oh yeah, I love what you're doing, keep going, blah blah blah. And then Supergirl comes out and bombs. Clayface will come out and do whatever Clayface does. It'll probably make money because they spent as little as 40 million apparently on it. So it's got the best chance of making money, but will people care? You have no Batman in the DCU as of now. Half the projects that are still announcing, people don't give a shit about. Like, hey, do you want a show that's Game of Thrones on Themyscira? No, I don't. All of this type of stuff, the question really does become, is Ellison just waiting to see what the financial numbers will be for Man of Tomorrow? And that's when they'll turn around and go, yeah, you're done. We're not moving forward with your vision because it's a bad vision. All of it's been failing and this is just the icing on the cake. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is just Ellison blowing smoke up their ass by telling them, oh yeah, I love what you're doing? Or do you think the producers just kind of blowing smoke up our asses by saying, oh yeah, Ellison loves what we're doing? Let us know what you think of all this. And more importantly, do you think Gunn's future is safe with DCU? Let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So, like and share and subscribe and hit the hype button and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.